All right, everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the CrossFit ETHOS podcast, and there's more faces that you may or may not know just yet. If you're familiar with the facility, as we've been open for a few months now, we follow what is called the process programming. And with us today are the founders of that, as well as a facility in Hong Kong called Coastal Fitness. I'll give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. But it's gonna be a special episode talking about the what's, the hows, and the whys of why we are following the process programming. Joining me again today is, of course, our very own Coach Josh. Without further ado, I'll let them introduce themselves, starting with the gentleman across me.
Thank you for the lovely, warm introduction, Joe. So my name's Ed Haynes, founder of Coastal Fitness. 15 years now, I've been running an affiliate, and we started process programming 3 years ago, really at the start of the pandemic, as we had this amazing opportunity to finally create what we'd been dreaming of doing for a really, really long time, which is basically create, an online training program to start impacting more of the world. And how that journey evolved, it began with, our group training program, the Live, Perform, Compete, which is what we've been running at Coastal Fitness for 12 years already. And that program has seen so many iterations of itself and just grown and evolved to be this really great group class program that was really successful in our gym. And the goal was to somehow find a way to get this program out there and start impacting more people. But there wasn't the technology to be able to do that at the time. WhatUp wasn't a thing. You couldn't create online programs and have people purchase it and be a part of it. I actually ran that program as a free program for 5 years. And basically on Instagram, every week, I would just put a story up and say, hey, if anyone wants a free program, would love you to be a part of our gym program. All I ask for in return is that you just log all your information, log all your details every time you work out, because we're gonna take that information and use it to write our training programs. And then suddenly the technology was available to actually make this a real thing. So we created the process programming, 200 people who were subscribing for free. The moment we put a price point on it, over 50% of people left. Yeah. I think you were still there, weren't you, Josh?
Yeah, the first couple of months, it was still Coastal Online, but it was already on WhatsApp.
So we basically started this online program, and then one of those subscribers who'd been a part of the free membership for a few years already, he actually owned a gym in Indonesia, Bengkel CrossFit, who's a really big, very well-known gym in Asia. And he just messaged me one day and said, Ed, I've seen so much, I've had such a change in my training and in my life by being a part of the Live, Perform, Compete program. How can I bring this into my gym? And so I said to him, I was like, well, you're already paying for the program. Why don't you just write the program on a whiteboard and, let your members follow it? And he was like, yeah, well, I kind of been doing that already, Okay. And I was like, yeah, we're not stopping you doing that. But he's like, but there are so many more things that I don't know how to implement. Like, for example, you have 3 different levels of programming. How do I decide who goes into which program? How do I have those conversations? You guys have assessments with your people. How do I do those assessments? How about your staff? How do you pay your staff when you ask them to do an assessment and the fundamentals? Like, should that be different? And I quickly realized that there is so much more that went into making Coastal Fitness what we believe to be a great gym than just the training program. And so rather than just saying, hey, put your credit card details here, download our program and run it in your gym, we realized that the programming and the coaching side of things is important, but it's not the be-all and end-all of what makes great gyms. And we noticed from the very start, when people started taking the Live, Perform, Compete program and putting it into their gym, there was still so many pieces missing as to what we believe constitutes to making a great gym. If the gym wasn't doing a good job, then really that's kind of hurting everyone that's a part of that community. So, we realized very quickly that we need to do more. We need to give gyms more, and that was basically how the affiliate program was born. Personally, what I thought at that time is I just didn't think I was capable to be able to be helping gyms. I was like, well, I'm just a coach. Like, what do I know about running a business? What do I know about helping business owners? And I was kind of thrust into the deep end when I agreed to this and said, yeah, I'll help you build your gym and make it better. And I realized I was like, what, I actually have, I think, some really good skill sets. I've got a great team of people who've been with me for a really long time, and together, we've been running a gym for over 12 years now. Actually, I think we've got lots of really great stuff that we can pass on to other members.
So that was Ed, by the way. In case you've ever wondered who the brains behind process programming is, as well as Coastal Fitness, Ed is one of the founders. And then his other half, his better brother half, maybe. Shall we say the more athletic one?
Yeah, you can definitely say
that. We're admitting it.
Yeah, you can say it. Oh, for sure.
I'll let him do the talking. He's no stranger to the fitness scene, especially if you live in Asia. But to my right,
Thank you very much, Joe. Yeah, I'll keep it a bit shorter than what Ed just explained. But I mean, I guess Ed touched on the points of why we're actually here in the Philippines with you guys at Ethos. You know, we realize that what we do in Hong Kong is something that we love doing. We realize that we've got a good thing there, and we want everyone else to be able to experience that as well. And we have such a huge community now that we've been online for, 3-4 years, is that we realize that these communities, we just want to meet people. And we realize that building these great gyms is, you can do it online. You can do it through messages and WhatsApp and video calls, but there's nothing that replaces this, sitting next to people and having conversations and seeing people in person and getting to know people. So that's what I guess we've really started to move into now, is being able to travel to each of our affiliates, being able to meet their own communities, being able to see all the amazing work that they do. So for example, like you guys here, all this amazing stuff that you guys do at Ethos that we don't do at Coastal, we're even getting ideas out of here, what we want to implement back home, what we'd love to take to the other process affiliates. And that levels us up, that levels you guys up, and levels everything in the process up. The programming can take care of itself. He's great at what he's doing, and he's got a whole team behind him that's kind of racking it all together. And he's got you guys here who obviously feed back into the program as well. We've got guys in New Zealand, Indonesia, all over the world. We've kind of moved a little bit from being coaches on the floor to trying to coach coaches a bit more, now to running affiliates a bit more. But I think it's still at the root of what we do is still coaching one-on-one and coaching group classes, and it's what we love to do. And now we've just got like a whole another mission above us. So my role, I'm basically still competing in CrossFit. I love to try and share my experiences that I learned through the competition floor and through training for competition with other people. People like Coach Josh, who I know is very competitive still. You and I, Joe, we go way back in the day. And Ed, he was snatching 52 or 115 pounds for you guys out here.
55 kg, actually.
55 kg.
I missed it.
But yeah, I still compete in the sport of CrossFit, and I love to take that side of things into coaching as well and try and share my experiences. And very, very grateful for you guys having us here today.
Yeah. Real quickly, we're going to direct the questions to Coach Josh over here. So Coach Josh, go ahead and kind of talk to us a little bit through the journey, so to speak.
So it was a point where I was actually getting hurt. I didn't feel like any progress. This is, as an athlete, it's just going hard all the time. And then there's actually Isabel. Shout out to Isabel. After she moved to Hong Kong, I was asking her about it, and then she directed me to Ed. And it was one-on-one, and then I think he didn't have room for clients at that time. And then Ed just said, you know what? I'm sharing the program online, and you can follow. Just please log your scores, like what he said. And then it was very different for me, but until now, I've never had an injury, and I'm still progressing as an athlete. Then in terms of, keep it short, in terms of programming, it's just honest programming. We know that we're not saying that CrossFit is for everyone, right? That's why we have assessments to see where they're at. And then that way we're able to meet that member or whoever wants to sign up where they're currently at. That way it's easier for us to put them on the right track or give them the right framework, right? Because if not, then they're just doomed to fail, right? Or get hurt. Yeah, I know it's not for everyone. Some guys can say that, oh, the other facility just can have me straight away. Then, well, that's not how it is, right? With all the years we've been doing it, we've been doing it. I've been doing it almost a decade. You've been doing it 10 years. You guys, more than 10 years. People just, if you say that CrossFit's for everyone, then someone comes in, then people just actually get hurt.
Yeah. How does it feel being like a coach of a process affiliate now? Well,
it's good. It's easier for me, but now it's up to me to help other coaches break it down day to day. What are the intentions? It's also, that's what's different as well. It's beyond the whiteboard and beyond the 60-minute class we do, right? There's continuing education, things outside just the workout, right? Food hygiene, sleep. And it's all from that pyramid, right? And then we communicate it constantly, week in, week out, just for the members who use outside.
Yeah. From the Ethos side, one of our biggest core decisions as to using process programming and being a process affiliate is it's really pointing towards the direction of CrossFit Ethos wanting to be the best in the country. Now, we still have yet to kind of put the map identity on what being the best means, but definitely one key factor that we do offer, or that we do promise everybody in our facility, in our community, is that we will constantly give our best. And part of that is having a continued development and growth system. Now, if we were to work only within ourselves at any given time, coaches doing peer-to-peer simply can tend to limit your growth. And being exposed and working with a system that is so tried and tested throughout the years really gives us an elevation of an experience and an opportunity to go beyond what we are limited to do, such as right now we're doing our coaches development. Ant and Ed, they shadowed our classes. We would ask for feedback from them. And it's been a very healthy back and forth. And it allows a different and fresh set of eyes to be able to give us insights on how we are doing things, whether we're doing a good job or if we have certain things to improve on. As that saying goes, right? Even coaches need coaches. And that may be from a performance perspective. What we're thinking of more is on a business perspective. So in case you've ever wondered, like, why are they doing process? Well, now you have an idea. And so far, so good, I would definitely say. There's always something for me to look for. I don't have an empty plate at the start of the month. This is from a personal perspective, or start of the week, rather. I mean, apart from having to watch Ed and Liam's face, for hours in a day doing my individual course, but there's, it's such an intricate system that I am involved in, that outside of my coaching hours, my training hours, and then my time outside of work in the gym, I do have something that puts me on a path for development. And I feel like that's always something that I'm grateful for with working with the process. And to kind of sum up as well as to the decision of CrossFit Ethos, given that we are a fairly new facility, building a new community, having the programming as well as some troubleshooting on the systems for running or operating a gym being provided for us really gave Coach Josh, myself, the leadership team and the management team a lot of headroom and space to be able to focus on other important things, such as things that are more in person, maintenance of the gym, building the community, working on the operations on a day-to-day basis. It really took a lot of load off of our shoulders that the programming was already being handled by someone. In case we encounter any problems, we had a third voice to kind of help us with the business solutions. So I feel like the decision to work with the process and the process affiliates was probably one of the best that we've really delved into. So I'm gonna throw the question to you, Ed, now. Now that you're here finally, right, here at CrossFit Ethos, being one of the newer affiliates and also here in Manila, how does it feel for you? Like in terms of like seeing everything that we were doing prior to the opening manifest in real life?
Yeah, it's been a very positive experience. I think to put this back into context, we have 9 affiliates around Southeast Asia now. And of all those affiliates, we've had 3 affiliates, you guys being one of them, who've started from scratch. So that means we've had 6 affiliates who were pre-existing gyms, who've then, joined the process and then had to evolve their systems to adapt and change. And I think both of those types have different challenges, right? The beautiful thing about starting from scratch is that, you have that ability to mold and create a culture, build systems, and basically start right from the very beginning, the way that resonates deeply with what you want to do. And also, you've got years of experience, in the sense that it's a tried and tested program. Versus when you work with a gym that's already existed for years, they've got a culture that's already embedded. They might have ways and systems of business that have been around for a really long time. And it can be a lot harder to kind of like change and evolve those ideas or the thoughts around it. So what's been really nice working with Ethos is that we did start from scratch, but it wasn't totally from scratch, because when you look at the team at Ethos, you've got so much experience within this team. You've got guys who've been competing, guys who've been coaching for a really, really long time. You guys have fantastic track records yourselves, owning your own businesses, growing your own affiliates. Then you've got the people behind the scenes like Polly, Yaris, and Kelvin, who've run gyms and been successful with them in the past as well. So, when we talk about being a part of the process, I really see it as it's a collaboration, right? It's not us just saying, hey, here's what we're gonna do and we're gonna do it this way. It's working together to find solutions and build systems together that's gonna work for you guys as well as us. So what's been really nice coming here has been, because the mission has always been impact as many lives as possible, right? That is our mission statement. That's what we have printed on the walls at Coastal Fitness. And the way that we've impacted lives, it started with just our community. And then now we're impacting coaches, because we know that if we can help coaches, that's going to have a ripple effect onto the people that they are serving. And then that's gonna have a ripple effect onto their children and their friends and their family. And coaches and gyms are like the highest order when it comes to making an impact in the world. So a lot of our time is spent, we jump on calls every week. We're speaking to Ant about the program. We're sitting as business owners talking about business owner things, administration, leadership issues, systems, all that kind of stuff. But you never really know what's happening in a gym until you actually step foot in the gym. And the goal for us, and big reason why we invest as time and energy into traveling and meeting our affiliates, is that ultimately we want the process programming to be that gold standard of strength conditioning in gyms. And what that means is that no matter where you go in the world, I want people to be able to step into a process programming gym and to know that you're going to receive a certain level of standard, a certain level of quality, and that's just going to be the minimum expectation. But I still want to give those gyms the freedom to have their own expression on how they want to be, find their own voice, present it in the way that aligns with them, have their own culture, have their own values. And what I have been really impressed with coming here is that, when I think about what we have at Coastal Fitness, and we definitely have the Coastal Fitness way, because that's been 15 years of making loads of mistakes, trying and testing loads of different methods, and we've arrived at a place where we're really proud of our product. I can safely say that if we sent any of our Coastal Fitness members into this gym, they would know straight away that we're a part of the same family. In the way that the sessions are run, like the friendly environment, the beautiful space, the personality and the values of the people that work here. It's like, it almost feels like a home away from home. And when you get that feeling, when you step into it, I know that you guys are doing something really, really good. So my feeling genuinely is like, I'm extremely proud to walk into a facility like you guys and see what you guys are doing. And actually, it's like giving me goosebumps now just thinking about it, to think that like, wow, this is a reflection of what, of us. And it's so cool that we've given you not that much guidance and you've just created it. You've actually you guys put in all the work. We just give suggestions here and there and frameworks. At the end of the day, the execution and making that happen, that comes down to you guys 100%. So I'm extremely proud of what you guys have created here. And to know that, we're 2 to 3 months into this journey is pretty mind-boggling. To know that, I know Coastal Fitness is where it's at today because of 15 years of just constant evolution and making mistakes, as I said. If you guys are executing this at the level you are right now, you guys are only gonna grow and you're only gonna get better. And that's a beautiful thing about what I love about the affiliate program. It's not just pay the money and become an affiliate. It's a collaboration of loads of different gym owners, loads of different head coaches with loads of different experiences, all coming together every single week and feeding and learning off each other. I would say I've learned just as much from all you guys and the other affiliates as I have probably passed on. And so you talked about coaches need coaches too. I have elevated as a leader, as a coach, as a business owner. I know Ant has in his own ways by being a part of this and just by having that think tank of different ideas every single week. And then coming here, and we go back to our hotel room every night and we talk about the things that we saw that were like, we need to bring this back to Coastal. We need to use this, that these guys are doing well. We haven't thought of that. And so that's kind of the beauty.
We need the coffee machine.
We need better coffee.
And you need a 6'4"
Yeah.
You gotta bring it down.
barista.
So, and honestly, to answer your question, very, very proud of what you guys are doing here. And I know that we're going to leave Philippines in a week's time and know that whoever steps into this gym is in fantastic hands and that we can be very proud of the level of service that's being provided here. And I genuinely mean that. I'm not just saying that because, we're filming this.
Yeah, as you can see, there are no handcuffs or there are no guns being pointed at them.
Pockets are empty, yeah.
And how does it feel to know that maybe one day on the process leaderboard, somebody's going to beat you In this, no,
I know it's not going to be Josh. So unless it's a back squat double.
Unless it's a back squat.
okay, fair.
But he didn't hit depth, so it doesn't count.
Anyways, I think we got to go start wrapping it up because we got some more work to do. But it was very awesome to have both Ed and Ant Haynes with us. Before we do wrap up the episode, we'll give them the opportunity to kind of tell more about like where they could find you guys, talk more about, you have a podcast as well, IG handles.
We have actually plenty of different handles that we use for different parts of the company and the brand, I guess. So the process programming, that covers the main things that you're going to see. You know, a lot of the workouts that go up, they're going to be on there. Any like athlete highlights, we're generally going to be on something like the process athlete. We have a whole education page, so that's the process education. You can find this all by just visiting the process programming Instagram. It's probably a little bit easier. Of course, we have Ed_Haynes_coach is your Instagram handle.
Correct.
Yeah, we have mine, which is @HaynesHK. But yeah, honestly, like I know, as you guys have said, like we are a family. So if anyone from Ethos is ever in town and they want to come drop in at Coastal, or similarly, if they're going anywhere else where there is a process affiliate, reach out via socials, reach out via websites, whatever that might be, and find us there. Ed, you talk a bit more about the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much covered everything. When we do run a podcast, just like you guys, we've just done our 200th episode, so it's an episode every single week.
I remember listening to episode 1 in my garage gym during the pandemic. Yeah.
That's epic.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joe. As Ant mentioned, we've just launched the individual coaching course, which you guys are currently working your way through. That's slowly but surely. The whole intention behind that course was to help level up our affiliates even more. We're, generally speaking, we've got some great group class coaches who've been in the game for a really long time, but individual coaching is something we want our affiliates to be able to offer. It's a different service offering that speaks to different people. It also gives coaches a great chance to develop their own careers, not only professionally, but also financially. And it can be a massive financial benefit to affiliates to offer personal training. So we realized, again, this is all just a learning curve, right? We're realizing as we go along, this like, well, individual coaching is not something that's offered. How can we help these guys make that an offering at their organizations and handle that side of things for them? So we've just launched that. That's open to anyone. But moving forward, that's going to be mandatory for every process affiliate to be, for every head coach to have that certification. We're going to be creating a group class coaching course as well, just to help elevate the levels of group class coaching as well. We've branched out from just a Live, Perform, Compete program as we always started. We now have the elite program for guys like Ant and Josh who have dreams and ambitions of competing in things like semifinals. So these guys are machines. They're training twice a day, 5-6 days a week. And we've also created the Build program, which is look good, function well. And that's get jacked as well. Sorry, throw that in there. Yeah. That's like a whole nother market that we've reached out to. And then of course we have the Gymless program, which is our free program. We started that at the start of the pandemic to just try and help the world when everyone was in a time of need. And I think it's actually amazing how many people have now joined the affiliate program or the online programs who joined the Gymless program during the pandemic, who just needed guidance, help, and accountability. And we've made a pledge to continue to run the Gymless program as a free program for as long as we possibly can. So awesome. Yeah, that's it.
That's good stuff. All right, if any of that stuff resonated with you, go ahead and give them a DM, whatever it is. Of course, let's keep it wholesome. Make sure that it's it's all business oriented. But if anything resonated with you, do check out all of the sources that they mentioned. And if any of that resonated with you and you kind of want to step into a CrossFit gym, of course, we're here at CrossFit ETHOS. We're 2 months in. Our community is growing really quickly. We do follow the process programming as well. So also if you're a process affiliate and you're looking at being guided by coaches that are directly under Ed and Ant as well, do come through. We're constantly talking with them. We're constantly developing with them. So though they may not be here physically, we are. So why not just kind of walk into a process affiliate and then see how the experience might be like. I think that's about it for us because we got more work to do. And thank you for joining us again this is episode 3 of the CrossFit Ethos podcast. We'll see you on the next one.